Good morning. So, how are you? It's Monday. There's a lot of things going on this week for all of us. But let me ask you a question. When you take downtime, do you really take downtime? And I asked this question because my husband and I took some time off this weekend and we really had a delightful time. And we really kept thinking, well, we should be doing more. We should be doing more. And then we thought, no, this is what you call R&R, rest and relaxation. So we took a few hikes in the mountains. We had a delightful lunch out one day. We just ate something that was healthy for us. I love sashimi, and he had his dish that he likes and appreciates. And we just wandered. We just wandered. See, we live a pretty intense life. He's a tax accountant. He's on task all from January to middle of May, even though the tax deadline is April 15th. He's on task because he does corporate returns too. So he has to get those out in March. He gets his out, and then he gets everybody else's out in April or gets them extended. And then all the work that he didn't do in April for his continuing clients, he does in May. So we have a cycle that we've had in our life now for over 30 years. It's a good cycle. It's a good cycle. But we realize that we both, when he's busy, I just stay busy. I build my business. I have two or three streams of revenue that I like to educate people on and bring people into being with. And I'm an educator, so I stay busy helping people build their business. So when we took off the other day, we just had chosen to go 30 minutes out of town, but that was enough to put us in the mountains. It was enough to get great spring pine air. It was great to see that the flowers hadn't bloomed up there yet, so we could see everything sprouting again, just like it was in the spring. And it was great to see the blossoms in the trees on Friday morning, which were very few, that by Sunday they were just blossoming all over the place. And then we had deer out in the backyard, dining with us. They were laying there looking in the window while we're eating breakfast in the breakfast nook. So we laughed because we kept thinking, well, should we be doing something? And we thought, nah, sitting here and reading a book is really good. Doing a jigsaw puzzle is really good. And we realized that we don't know how to always unwind. And what we learned this weekend was to unwind. Well, see, I have another thing that goes on in my life where I was raised with a busy family. And if we went on a trip, we left at 4 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday or a Saturday, and Dad would drive us, and Mom would drive us to Salt Lake, from California to Salt Lake. Then he'd get on a bus and go home because he only had 2 weeks of vacation. But Mom was a school teacher, so we were headed to Colorado to spend time with her family in the mountains, in the Rocky Mountains. We might get to herd cattle. We might get to just visit with cousins in 3 or 4 different cities in Colorado. It varied every year. But then we do crazy things, like my dad was a planner. We would stay there, say 6 weeks in Colorado. And then Dad would have his 2 weeks vacation planned. We would drive east to Kansas City. He'd fly, this is 1 year, he'd fly in to the Kansas City airport. We'd pick him up, and then we'd head east, because that year, this particular trip, we were headed to the New York World's Fair. But oh, wait, we had to do one other thing first. My brother had got on the Boy Scout Jamboree. So we picked him up in Philadelphia, and then we went on to New York, and then we did the World's Fair. We did the Empire State Building. We did Radio City Music Hall. I mean, we just did it all. And then my dad is one of those people who probably came home with 30 new friends. He's networking in line wherever we are. And he comes home with addresses, and he writes those people for the rest of his life or the rest of their life. And then we'd go home, but we just didn't go home. We just didn't take a road home. No, we had to hit the Oregon Trail or the Pacific Trail. We had to get as close as we could to where all the pioneers went in their covered wagons. So then we'd get home it was always planned we'd get home by Sunday. And then what do? We don't just get to unwind. We have to do the laundry, wash the cars, mow the lawn, do all this stuff. And by Monday, you're exhausted. So our vacations in my family were Intensity City. Were they delightful? Yes. Do I have great memories? Yes. But I realized that I'm still wired that way. I'm still wired to do vacations like that, or to do time off like that, intensely push, push, push. And what was really sweet this time was I got a new perspective on, hey, you can still have as much fun. You don't have to do this busy, busy, busy stuff. You don't have to run around. So on Friday morning, we had our phones, but that was it. We didn't take computers. We didn't take any electronics. We had access to all of that. We had access to an Alexa. We played the music for about an hour, and we said we like the quiet. We took pictures with the phones. We didn't text. We didn't call anybody. We just totally had time down. And when we came home Sunday, it was like, oh, we need to do more of this. But we were feeling awkward because we had not taken 2 days like that since, say, last fall. And we realized that we could get used to that. And we will. We'll do it when we want to. But we don't want to be fully retired. That's not our goal. But what I want to say to you today is take that downtime when you get it. Downtime doesn't mean you have to go be busy and socializing. The quiet time in your head is really, really good. We had great sleep. We had great fresh air. We felt like we went to a spa, and all we did was find it was a vacation rental, but we happened to know the person who owns this one. And so we had a delightful place to stay. We've already planned our next time there. It's on the calendar. We came home and we calendared the next time. Do you come home and calendar the next time? Do you come home and say, okay, here's the next one? Or do you wait until you're burned out and then do you plan it? So I'm here to say that if you want to be successful in your business and you want to be restored and energetic and share with people, try to figure out a way to always plan that stuff ahead. Now, I know some of you do a really good job at that, but we don't. We haven't. We're better. We're getting better and better at planning that time away so that we rejuvenate, so that we restore, and we come back fired up for what's next. I've already made a great sale this morning, and it was unexpected, but sometimes you just have to be open and in the space to receive. And so I encourage you that if you're thinking things are tough in your business, that they're just not working the way you want, I want you to turn everything off. And I want you to go away somewhere for 2 days, even if it's to your backyard. I don't want you to I don't drink alcohol. I don't need to have alcohol to go away. I actually felt like that fresh mountain air was about the most aphrodisiac I could have. It felt wonderful. And I just encourage you to take a look at your life patterns, to take a look at your work patterns, and where's a break? And it doesn't have to mean you go far. It doesn't have to mean you run away intensely like my family used to do for vacations so we could pack it all in and get as much as we could going on in our lives. Just go ahead. And relaxation may be normal for you. It's an acquired skill for me. So it's not something I do easily, but it is something that I love doing. So I want you to have a great Monday. I want you to have a great week, and I want you to plan your next downtime and make it soon. Bye.